Stanley for a movie review relay, and this week we're talking about Scandal. And I have to tell you, it was so well done. This episode opens with Papa Pope. He's in jail. Him and Jake are having a conversation. But what's interesting about this episode is they intercut this with a news show all about Olivia, detailing her background. There's a news expose, you know, like you might watch, let's say, New Edition or one of these news shows, 60 Minutes. And it's all about Olivia, her background, her father's background. It mentions the mother, okay? Very interesting stuff. They even talk to her third grade teacher. And all these pundits then weigh in on Olivia Pope and her character. I mean, they do it like she's a real person. It's so well done. All right, you gotta see it. All right, so they edited that in with a conversation with Jake and Eli Pope, which is Papa Pope. Papa Pope won't give anything up, though. Jake is saying you have to know something about these international incidents that's happening all over the world that no one seems to be paying attention to. They're paying attention to President and his mistress, okay? You know, you have something to do with that. He says, no, you know, I could have protected you guys, but you guys chose to throw me in jail. You know, he's very bitter. You can't blame him because, you know, he was doing everything else everybody else was doing. But yeah, they decided to let you be the fall guy. You get to go to jail and everybody else is walking around. They're murderers too, a lot of them, you know, what can you do? The expose also mentions that Olivia Pope is always getting involved with rich, powerful, older men. It's showing her history with these rich and powerful men. Then the scene switches to Quinn. She's trying to recruit as part of the Olivia Pope Associates team, I guess to replace the Columbus Short character. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So he insults them terribly. He says, yeah, I don't want to be with you guys. You guys are too shady, you're too low. I don't like the way you do things, la, 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 la. But then he turns around and changes his mind. After all of that, after telling them off and calling them names and insulting them, then he decides to join them. So yeah, he's a hypocrite already. He'll fit in just fine. Fitz is furious with Abby. He wants her fired, but later on Olivia talks him out of it. Olivia is going through her own mental crisis. She sees people glaring at her through her window, taking pictures of her. She's followed by the press all the time. Remember, before she did her job, but she did it in the background, nobody really noticed her. She was more or less invisible. But now everybody knows who she is. You know, all her secrets are out. Her big secrets, that is, you know. The Republicans want Fitz out. They figure they'll use this incident with Olivia as leverage. Either we impeach you, or they're asking him to get rid of the Brandon bill, all right? So he has this awful choice to make now. So Olivia's nervous, and as she's watching the news and looking at the internet, she finds out how nasty the internet can be. But we can't say it's internet, it's people. Okay, these mean people, these mean bullies, these cyber bullies were always there. Everyone knows that, but you just didn't know it. Now we have the internet, and yeah, here they are. Cyrus is acting like a spoiled child, all right? He's complaining to Mellie that he wasn't rehired by Fitz, and he actually compares Fitz to a child, and in a morbid way, very morbid, compares it to Mellie's child who died and is buried in the grave, and Mellie just throws him out because it's very insulting. The whole thing was really very insulting. Yeah, it was. He didn't express that right. I know what he meant, but he didn't say it in the right way. So, and we find out what dog whistle politics is. Did you know what it was? I didn't. All right. Then the president and Olivia do something very tacky, which is that they all get in the car, the limousine, the president and his entourage. They go to Olivia's apartment. Press is following the president the whole time. So he goes and he takes Olivia out on a date. Yeah, with the press following them and everything. It's very tacky. So the closing scene shows Mellie being so furious because she's being humiliated on every turn, right? By everybody, betrayed and everything else. And now she's with everybody else. Let's impeach, let's impeach my husband, the president. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so until we meet again, it's Renee Stanley for Movie Review Relay. God bless. This is Renee Stanley for Movie Review Relay, and today we're talking about how to get away with murder. All right, so